It's Candlemas week and we are off in search of signs of spring. Candlemas is a Christian celebration celebrated 40 days after Christmas when baby Jesus was presented at the temple. Candlemas is celebrated on the 2nd of February, which is also around the time when Imbolc is celebrated, which is a pagan festival marking the start of spring, because this time period is equidistant between winter solstice and spring equinox. In America, this time is also celebrated as Groundhog Day, where a groundhog coming out of its burrow is used to predict whether winter or spring will be happening for the next 6 weeks. These are all sorts of different traditions. You might want to have a think about what traditions you celebrate as a family. In nature, this time period is full of the first signs of spring. At winter solstice, we talked about hope, and we hope the light is coming back and what we might hope for. But now at Candlemas, it's really exciting because we're starting to see the first shoots and signs that spring is actually happening. You might want to think about, what does sign actually mean? What does it mean to see a sign? And what sorts of signs in nature might we might see? One sign we can be looking for are snowdrops. These are some of the first flowers to come up in January and February, and they're also known as Candlemas bells. If you listen carefully, you might hear this one ringing because I've put a bell inside it, and I'm going to show you how to make this next. This is a lovely craft activity, and it also reminds us when we're out in nature that when we're looking for signs of things, we might not just be looking but also listening as well. To make your own Candlemas bells or snowdrops, you will need some felt, some coloured paper, a bell, some thread and a needle, and some scissors and a pencil. Start by drawing 3 petal shapes on your white felt, which you then cut out. You then want to carefully sew your petals together with the bell in the middle, so you end up with something that looks just like a little snowdrop with 3 petals with a bell inside. Next, you want to cut out a circle of green felt and cut this out so that there are some petal shapes in your green felt. You can then sew this onto the top of the petals you've already made, and then carefully sew around your green felt and then pull it tight so it tightens around the petals, making a beautiful flower. To make the stem of your snowdrop, roll some green paper very tightly, and then you can either sew or glue this onto the top of your flower and add some leaves to make a wonderful snowdrop or Candlemas bell. I haven't found any snowdrops yet, but as a reminder, as we're outside looking for those very first signs of spring, I've made this viewfinder. So as I go out looking, you can see that what we're looking for might be a snowdrop, but also those first signs. It's these signs of hope. Having had this dark, dark Christmas in this dark area, we're then looking for the light and the signs of spring. To make our Candlemas viewfinder, we simply drew a snowdrop onto some black card and then cut this out to take on our nature walks with us. You might like to make one of these too, to take out and about on your walk as you're looking for things to remind you. You might also like to use it to write in words, so what you might be looking forward to this year, and maybe some of the dark things that have happened in the past, and now you can look forward to those more exciting events happening in the springtime and for the rest of the year. Having made the Candlemas bell earlier as a reminder to listen to things, if you listen really carefully, you might be able to hear the amount of bird song, and I can hear it a lot in the trees, and that really is showing us that spring is on its way, and you might even start to see some of the birds building their nests, getting ready for spring. Oh wow, look, there's loads of them. Just behind me, you might be able to see all of the little shoots of the snowdrops just coming up, which is amazing because actually there's all these leaves and twigs all over the ground, and then there's these signs of life coming through the fact spring is on its way. In churches, Candlemas is used as a blessing of the candles for the year. So inspired by these snowdrops, we've got a lovely craft activity where you can design your own candle holder. To make your own Candlemas holder, you'll need some tissue paper, glue, scissors and an old plastic bottle. Start by cutting your plastic bottle in half and be careful at the top because the edges might be sharp. Once you've done this, cut out lots of shapes out of tissue paper. We have cut out snowdrops here, but you might like to cut out whatever shapes you like. Then glue your tissue paper shapes on. These look beautiful, ready for Candlemas with candles inside. You can do whatever shapes you like, and there are further instructions on the Twinkle website too. Thank you so much for joining us for Candlemas week. We'd love to see what you've been up to, so do share in our Twinkle Home Educators Facebook group. And if you've enjoyed this video, do check out our Winter Tree Week, which has got a lovely blossoming activity which you will love to do as well. We look forward to seeing you again soon for more exploring fun.